Why?
Why?
If you have T-Mobile 5G home internet, you might be hearing this
Why?
a lot.
Why?
Every time your internet slows down during the busiest hours.
Why?
Why?
Because your network gives priority to cell phone users.
Why?
Good question. Why not switch to Cox Internet with 2 times faster download speeds than T-Mobile 5G home internet during peak hours?
Okay.
Stop the whys and visit cox.com/5G home for details. T-Mobile prioritizes certain T-Mobile phone users over home internet users during times of congestion.
The South Dakota Stories, Volume 7. My trip to South Dakota was the best summer ever. Now I don't need to go to Mars, because I've been to the Badlands. And I caught a bigger walleye than Dad when we went to the Missouri River. Then I rode my bike through these huge rocks called needles. Ooh, I also saw my first herd of bison, even a fuzzy furry baby one. I can't wait to go back and see more. There's so much South Dakota, so little time.
It's time to get inside the Giants Huddle.
Let's go, let's go, let's go!
On Giants.com.
I like it, I like it.
And the Giants mobile app.
Boom, give me some juice.
Part of the Giants Podcast Network.
Let's roll.
Welcome to another edition of the Giants Huddle Podcast, brought to you by Citizens, the official bank of the New York Giants. My name is John Schmelk. Thank you so much for being with us today. On the final day, the players were in the building. Our very own Madeline Burke had a chance to canvass the locker room, talk to a bunch of players on both sides of the ball, offense and defense, and get their thoughts heading in to the offseason. We're going to split this into 2 parts. The first part will be the defensive players. Then later on this week, we're going to do the offensive players. So here's who you're going to hear from today. We're going to hear from Bobby Okereke. We're going to hear from Dane Belton. We're going to hear from Micah McFadden. We're going to hear from Kayvon Thibodeau. And then we're going to wrap things up with Dexter Lawrence. Really good set of players, good conversations as we head into the offseason. And really the last time we're going to hear from these players until they return for the strength and conditioning program in April. So let's lead things off. Madeline Burke with Bobby Okereke.
All right, I'm here with Bobby Okereke. First of all, Bobby, you played every snap on defense this season, one of just 3 players to do it in the league, and 2 of which on this Giants team, you and Xavier McKinney. How much pride do you take in just being available?
I take a lot of pride in it, especially, to share that accolade with my brother, Xavier. He's a great teammate, a great football player, and a great man. So it means a lot to this team, to this organization, just to show that I'll put the work in and be available for this organization and the fans.
The Giants' defense was a pivotal part of the team's success when it came this season. I mean, the takeaways, the turnovers, the pressure you guys were able to apply. How do you describe what went into preparing for these games this season and what led to that success for this unit?
We created a lot of turnovers. We've been very opportunistic on the defensive side of the ball, and it's been fun. And it's been from every position group, getting picks, getting sacks, strip sacks, forced fumbles. It's been a lot of fun.
Well, and the picks and the sacks, when you look back at 2023, seem like the highlight, but people will forget that it took a few weeks for those to get going, both of them. There was some frustration, I think, in this group of how do we get a turnover? How do we get to the quarterback? And then when it came in bunches. How did you guys persevere through that?
We just stayed resilient, and we stayed consistent with our process. We know the last thing to show is profit, so we just keep putting the work in, and we eventually got the result we wanted.
As a group, this team really finished strong and ran through the tape despite the adversity of the season. What does that say about the culture that's building in this Giants locker room?
It speaks volumes of it, honestly. I mean, it starts top down with Dave's, Joe. I think we have a great, aggressive, competitive culture here, and we're just going to keep building off that, off the momentum from this last win into this offseason.
Now, this was your first season as a Giant, signing in free agency last year. You've made such an impact already on this organization. How do you reflect on what year 1 as a New York Giant means to you?
It's been a lot of fun. I'll probably take these next couple of weeks and really just reflect, like you said, on these past games, all the experiences I've had with my teammates. But it's been fun. It was the ultimate honor to be voted a captain by my teammates to lead them into battle this year. And, I'm just excited for next year.
What are your goals for the offseason? How do you approach the offseason and prepare for next year?
Yeah, I mean, take time, like you said, reflect on season. We have a great staff here from the strength staff, medical staff, training staff. So really take a comprehensive dive and figure out what I need to do to put my body in better position to, play at a higher level next year. Obviously stayed healthy, but there's still more out there for me.
Giants linebacker and 2023 team captain Bobby Okereke, thanks so much for taking the time.
Thank you.
I'm here with Dane Belton, and Dane, they say if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready, and you are the epitome of that. You're the type of guy who stays ready when your number is called, and it seemed like in the 2023 season, anytime that was called, you got on the field and made a play. How do you feel that mentality is a strength of yours approaching this game?
Yeah, it's just about being a professional. We all got a job to do, and for me, they always say, you're one play away. And early in the year, I was in on some packages, wasn't playing as much as I wanted to, but at the end of the day, I was gonna steady like I was a starter, and when my time came, I was gonna make plays. So it was good to finally have that happen at the end of the season, even though it came off an injury. You don't want anyone to get injured, but it's definitely good to end the season off with making some plays.
That takes such mental discipline to be able to study and prepare as a starter week in and week out. Where do you derive that strength from?
Yeah, it was just I love the game, so when I'm in the building and during the season, I'm locked in on what I need to do as a player, and just what I need to focus on, the keys I need to study, just so when I'm in there, there's no drop off, there's no guessing on what they could do. I'm ready, so just about being prepared.
When you look at the strength of this Giants defense, the takeaways and winning the turnover battle really led to a lot of success for this team. You seem to be a ball magnet, a ball hawk. What's the key to you to finding the ball and getting to it? And is it just a touch, or is it something intuitive, or how does that play out for you?
Yeah, there's a few things that go into it. One, it starts in the film room, being able to, like I said, see keys and see formation tendencies and things so you can get a jump on things, before the snap. And then it just goes about, if you're in the deep part of the field, reading the quarterback, making a play on the ball, if you're playing man or zone, just doing what you need to do, doing your job, and then, just making a play, when it comes to you. So it's a combination of things, but I definitely pride myself on getting takeaways.
Now, the Giants finished 6-11 this season, not the way that a lot of people wanted to, but still finished strong, ran through the tape, got a win over the Eagles in Week 18. When you look at the way that this group stuck together through the adversity of the year, what was the key to that?
Man, it was the brotherhood we had. No matter what happened, we're gonna come in and work together and enjoy the time we had together. So, even while we're in that losing spell, just being able to come to practice, having fun, being out there playing the game we love, that we all love to do. So I feel like that was the key, just being able to come to work and enjoy what we do together.
How do you approach this offseason and being prepared for 2024?
Yeah, just working on things I need to work on that I know, and just building on what I've done the past 2 years, and just going from there. Next year is going to be a great year. Looking forward to that, and just looking forward to the team we're going to have, and the guys that I know are coming back, and then the guys we add. It's just going to be a new experience for sure, and I'm looking forward to it.
Dane Belton, thanks so much for taking the time.
Thank you.
You love turf. You're good at it. So you start a turf biz. Business grows, your savings grow. Become the most celebrated name in turf. Are you ready for all that life brings?
The Giants Huddle is brought to you by Citizens, the official bank of the Giants from game day to every day. Citizens is made ready for Giants fans with insights, guidance, and solutions. Learn more at citizensbank.com.
All right, I'm here with Giants linebacker Micah McFadden. Micah, first of all, looking back on the 2023 Giants season, what's the thing you're going to remember the most?
Probably just the guys in the locker room, the group of men we had in here, and especially on the defensive side of the ball. We had a really good group, and, obviously this season wasn't up to our standards and, wasn't really what we expected of ourselves, but proud of the way we fought and, the way we fought through adversity, and, proud of the way we played on Sundays.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned the group, the guys that were in this locker room, too. Bobby Okereke, a guy who signed early or before this season, you two seem to have great chemistry in that linebacker core. What was that dynamic like?
Yeah, adding a leader like that, a veteran, he definitely helped me a lot this year, and just working on little things in my game and, teaching me what he knows and what he's learned over the years. And just throughout the defense, I think he brought an energy, a mindset of taking the ball away, and that really rang throughout our defense this year. And I know he'll continue to do that. But yeah, he's been a huge help and a huge addition to this team.
When you look at taking the ball away, too, that was something that was a point of pride for this Giants defense later on in the season. But some people might forget that in the beginning of the season, it took a while for those turnovers and those sacks to come. How did you guys stay patient through that and really focus on getting to those takeaways?
Yeah, no, we were definitely eager early to get a few. But I think, like I said, I think Bobby, making it an emphasis, and, our coaches putting more of an emphasis on it in practice, and making a point of it throughout the week so that we can do it on Sundays, made a really big difference for us.
When you look at how much you've grown as a player over the last several years, and even just from last year to this season, what do you see when you self-scout as your biggest area of growth?
I think the game really just slowed down a lot this year, And the coaches kind of told me usually from year 1 to year 2 the game slows down, and definitely felt that earlier in the season. Still a lot of things to improve on, and definitely things to work on in this offseason. But proud of the improvement, but definitely a long way to go.
How do you approach the off season? What are your plans for staying ready and being prepared for 2024?
Yeah, just take a little time off, get my body healed up, and then kind of start over the process of what I did last year, getting my body stronger and kind of getting back into shape and whatnot. But just working on the little details of fundamentals and technique, and obviously getting back into condition and football shape.
Seemed to be a close-knit locker room this season. Do you guys have plans to get together as a group in the off season?
Yeah. I think a lot of guys, have some trips planned and whatnot together. I know the linebackers do for sure, but yeah, I'm sure a lot of guys, live around each other, and we'll try to see each other and get together this offseason.
Michael McFadden, thanks so much for taking the time.
Thank you.
I'm here with Kayvon Thibodeau. Kayvon, your second season as a New York Giant, 11.5 sacks on the year. When you look back at what you were able to accomplish personally before we look at the big picture, how do you look at that?
Man, it's hard work. Obviously, things didn't go the way we wanted, but, you got to take the more wins when you can. And, I was able to play better this season, so I just got to be happy with that and be proud and be able to take this momentum and keep getting better in the offseason.
You mentioned coming into this season that you were going to focus less on the individual stats and let that come to you, and it seemed to work quite well. What did you shift, not just in your perspective, but in the way you approached preparing for these games?
Just doing my job, man. You can't be Superman. This is the ultimate team sport, and just contributing to, every game and being a factor.
The Giants had some adversity in 2023, but they also had a lot of success as a group. You guys had success as a unit, and a lot of that came on the back of the Giants' defense and the pressure you guys were able to apply. How much pride do you take in what this defensive unit was able to accomplish?
Man, I give a big credit to, Joe and Dave. They put together a great team. Guys like Bobby, guys like X, guys like Dex, who have been here from the start, day in and day out, put the work in. And, we're just going to keep growing. Things didn't go our way, but I think we got some great core guys that we can continue to build with.
And looking at that core and continuing to build, too, going into this offseason, how do you approach the offseason?
Just building team chemistry, getting healthy, getting better.
Do you guys have plans to get together in the offseason as whether a defensive unit or?
Definitely. We'll get together as a defense and, go on vacation, and we'll also get together and train and, kind of keep that train going as far as building team chemistry.
Because one of the things about this team is despite the fact that there were some struggles and some adversity, this group as a whole ran through the tape at the end of the year, finished strong. What does that say about the culture that's building in this Giants locker room?
There are no egos. We're going to stick together. We're going to fight. And, no matter what the outcome of the game is, we're going to play hard.
Kayvon Thibodeau, thanks so much for the time.
Thank you.
You're ready for a change. Payday comes early with Citizens, so go to that retreat. New you moves to the country. Now you're raising goats and launching a lifestyle brand. Are you ready for all that life brings?
Giant fans love a winner. It's why they love Citizens, named a 2022 Best Bank in the U.S. by The Banker. As the official bank of the Giants and sponsor of the Huddle, Citizens is made ready for fans of Big Blue. Learn more at citizensbank.com.
I'm here with Giants D lineman Dexter Lawrence. Dexter, coming off of the 2023 season, personally a success for you, your second consecutive Pro Bowl year. When you look back at 2023, the highs and lows, the ups and downs, how are you going to remember this year?
It was a very emotional season. Like you said, a lot of highs and a lot of lows, and like a roller coaster type of thing. Felt long. I'm glad we finished the way we did, and just look forward to getting ready for next year.
You mentioned the way that this team finished, finishing strong, getting a win over the Eagles at home in the last game of the season, and really competing through the tape. Yeah. What was the key to keeping this group together? Because despite the adversity, whether it be early in the season or late, the locker room felt like such a solid unit the whole year round.
Yeah, I think we were really close. I think a lot of guys been here for a little bit, so the culture of that was still here. And I think, we just care for each other, and, whatever is, we had to ride this roller coaster together, and I think we did that. We weathered some storms, and like I said, it was just a very emotional season.
As a defensive unit, the defense was really a key to the Giants' success when it came this year. You know, you guys were able to apply pressure. You guys were able to get takeaways and turnovers. How much pride did the defense take in being the strength of this squad?
I think as a defense in general, no matter it's this defense or another defense, I think defenses want to take over the game. Defense want to tell the offense you only have to score 3 points. You know what I mean? But that's just the mindset of the defense here, and we had guys to buy into that, and we had a successful season.
How do you see the way that your game has taken off over the last couple of years?
Honestly, it's just just working with Coach Dre, honestly, and him helping me master my craft, continue to learn my position, continue to learn how guys want to block me, and to counter that. And I think it was a lot of Dre just helping me just become a better player, honestly, and just teaching me the game.
What are some of the things that Dre adds to these meetings? Some of the things that he tells you.
It's he puts things in perspective, and it's not really just we talk about life stuff in that room. We talk about a lot of real stuff, and we can relate to your guys like that, and it makes you want to play for you a little more. And he's obviously a great coach, probably Hall of Fame one day, but. Just it's a ton of respect for him.
When you go into this off season and get ready for the 2024 season ahead, how do you approach the off season?
Honestly, I'm going to kick back and relax a little bit, put my feet up, enjoy, this first off season after getting paid or whatever, and then just get back to the grind and understand what's important to me and what I got to do to be successful next season.
Thanks so much, Dexter Lawrence. Thanks for the time.
Thank you.
Good stuff from all the guys in Madeline right there on the Giants Huddle podcast, brought to you by Citizens, the official bank of the Giants. Really interesting stuff. And again, the last time we'll hear from these guys until we see them again in April, beginning to get ready for 2024. In the meantime, stay tuned to all of our podcasts, including Draft Season, our draft podcast, where we really are keeping track of everything NFL draft. And of course, Giants Huddle will be free agency and draft dominated as well. We have the Senior Bowl, Shrine Bowl coming up. Make sure you stay tuned for all that good stuff right here on the Giants Huddle podcast, brought to you by Citizens, the official bank of the Giants. For Madeline and the guys, I'm John Schmelk. We'll see you later in the week for Offense.
Why?
If you have T-Mobile 5G home internet, you might be hearing this a lot.
Why?
Every time your internet slows down during the busiest hours.
Why?
Because your network gives priority to cell phone users.
Why?
Good question. Why not switch to Cox Internet with 2 times faster download speeds than T-Mobile 5G home internet during peak hours?
Okay.
Stop the whys and visit cox.com/5G home for details. T-Mobile prioritizes certain T-Mobile phone users over home internet users during times of congestion.
The South Dakota Stories, Volume 5. South Dakota seemed like the perfect place to unplug. But I ended up connecting to the world around me. A world where each sunset was painted, where I felt adventure's pulse with every step, and where cold water trickling, pine swaying, and grunting bison became my favorite soundtracks. I just wish I didn't have to leave. There's so much South Dakota, so little time.